Hey, y'all, I want to share something with y'all. I was reading this book called Up from Slavery by Booker T. Washington, one of the greatest black leaders that's ever lived. He was born a slave, so he was born in the 1800s. And if you don't know, he was the founder and builder of Tuskegee University, which still exists today. So 20 years or 15, 20 years after he was a slave, he had an idea, he had a vision, he had a dream to build Tuskegee University. He didn't make any excuses. He decided to build a university that would educate black students. He knew that was a huge need in those days. So I want to read to you chapter 10, a little bit of chapter 10. It's the first paragraph of this chapter. It says, from the very beginning at Tuskegee, I was determined to have the students do not only the agricultural and domestic work, but to have them erect their own buildings. My plan was to have them, while performing this service, taught the latest and best methods of labor, so that the school would not only get the benefit of their efforts, but the students themselves would be taught to see not only utility in labor, but beauty and dignity would be taught. In fact, how to lift labor up from mere drudgery and toil, and would learn to love work for its own sake. My plan was not to teach them to work in the old way, but to show them how to make the forces of nature, air, water, stream, electricity, horsepower, assist them in their labor. At first, many advised against this experiment of having the buildings erected by the labor of the students, but I was determined to stick to it. I told those who doubted the wisdom of the plan that I knew that our first buildings would not be so comfortable or so complete in their finish as buildings erected by the experienced hands of outside workmen, but that in the teaching of civilization, self-help, and self-reliance, the erection of buildings by the students themselves would more than compensate for any lack of comfort or fine finish. So as I read this, what it comes to me is that the same desire, the same ability that Booker T. Washington had, that blacks had in the 1800s, to build on their own. The creativity, the work ethic, the desire, the dream, the intellect was there. It's still there. Our future has never been wrapped up in waiting for somebody else to do something for us. It's always been wrapped up in building for ourselves and being able to rely on our own abilities. We have it. Our ancestry, it was in our DNA to build. If you go back to Africa, where our ancestors came from, look at all the things that creations and beginnings of civilization that started there. All the great things that came out of there that are still there today. Then we have in the 1800s, after coming out of slavery, a black man decides that, hey, black people need to be educated. So we're going to build a school with our own hands, with our own intellect, with our own abilities, with our own desires, with our own ideas, with our own selves. What is this saying to us today? This is telling me that black people, we don't have to wait. We were born from builders. We were born from greatness. We were born with the intellect. We were born with the ability to use our hands to build. We were born with the heart and the desire to make things happen, to build. Tuskegee still exists today. Black people, no need to wait. Our ancestors showed us the way to do it. The path has been laid for us. We need to go out and do for ourselves. Of course, some people did help Booker T on the way because he needed donations and things like that. But those people didn't help until they saw that he was already like working and doing things for himself. Also, in this whole story is that he wanted the kids to help build it. See, he believed in kids being shown how to work at an early age, being shown the value of hard work. All these things that I read in this book pertain to and can make us better as a people today. It's no secret Just because it was 200 years ago or whatever, or 300 years ago, whatever it was, the foundation, the path is still the same. Got to get up and do it ourselves. Cannot wait. And you know what the great thing is? Those were our ancestors, so it's in our DNA. We have the smarts. We have the ability in our hands. We have the intellect. We have all we need is our own. We need ideas. We need action. We need to work together. Vision. We need creative ways to raise the funds. We have it ourselves. We have the funds. We spend the most money of any group of people out in the world. We have it within ourselves already. It's time to stop waiting and start building. Peace.